So without any further delay, we'll let Ms. Stephanie Luck. Keep getting
Really
it wrong.
hard to pronounce. Really
Sorry. We'll let Ms. Stephanie start the process. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Like breakfast is still holding. You're going to make it all the way through. You're not going to ditch me in the middle, right? Please don't ditch me in the middle. Hurt my feelings. Okay, so how many of you in the room have walked into a situation and thought, oh my gosh, they're going to find out I'm a fraud. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not meant to be here. That's what we're going to talk about today. So as project managers, we're meant to know the budget, the timelines, sometimes the future. How is the project going to turn out? Is it going to be successful? Can you turn me down just a smidge? Thank you. Ooh, that was loud. Okay, so here's the thing. We all want to be the superhero when it comes to running a project, right? What do superheroes have that we don't have? And capes. They don't let us wear capes. So toss the cape, pick up the spreadsheet, and the magic wand that makes the budget work perfectly and everything else and all of the updates on time as expected. So today we're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff, but it all groups together. So I'll just do high level for learning objectives. By the time you leave today, hopefully, you will understand what imposter phenomenon is and how it manifests in project professionals. You will recognize the common triggers and impacts of imposter phenomenon in project environments, as well as learning evidence-based strategies to reframe self-doubt and authentic confidence. Okay? It is going to be great if you guys sit next to at least 1 to 2 other people. This is more of a workshop style, so there will be conversations and actually practicing some of the things that we're going to learn today. So we're going to ignore this QR code, but we are going to take out our phones. This is the only time I'm going to ask you to take out your phone. And we're going to go to menti.com, MENTI. So for those of you at home, please participate as well. MENTI.com. The code you're going to enter is 6340823. One more time on that code, 6340823. You're going to answer that question anonymously. Nobody's going to know. And I'm going to watch on my laptop for answers to start popping up. Have you ever felt like you were faking it in a role? You need that code one more time? Sure. 6340823. Oh, come on. Okay, fine, we're going raise the hands. Forget the technology. Those of you remote, I can't see you, but in here, anybody at any point in time in their career, whether it's right now, whether it was 10 years ago, have you ever felt like you were faking it in a role or like you lost their mind, I can't believe they hired me? Yeah, that's me. That was me straight out of college. I applied for what I thought was an HR role. It was Human Resources Information Systems. I didn't get the IS part, like I just didn't pay attention to that. Worked out really well for me, so thank goodness. What is imposter phenomenon? Imposter phenomenon, as defined by the American Academy of Family Physicians, is a slight difference from the creators. It is an internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as others perceive you to be. It can affect any person, regardless of gender, social status, or success level. So Dr. Imes and Dr. Clance, back in 1978, did a study of 150, let me get the stats right, PhDs, respected women in their field, and students recognized for academic success at Georgia State University. It is the internal experience of intellectual phoniness. It's believing that you are not as good as other people think that you are. Just gonna let you think on that for a second. Go ahead. Yes. Does a whale belong in the middle of the forest?
Or do all those trees belong with the whale?
There you go.
There's no answer to that.
There is not an answer.
That's supposed to bug me.
Good. It does bug you. It bugs when I do this for the interns at work with our Year Up program. It bugs them too. So just sit with that, start dreaming about the whale in the forest, come back to this, but also the important pieces of it. So who does it impact? Everybody from students to professionals. We're going to look at some statistics right after this. Anybody notice some of the faces up there? You can call them out when you notice or recognize. Tom Hanks, Maya Angelou, Renee Zellweger, Emma Watson. Yes, Seth Godin. I didn't hear that one. Nope, Jeff's not up there. Apparently he doesn't suffer from imposter phenomenon. It's fine. Yeah, different bald guy. Yep, Michelle Foster. Now I'm just combining things. Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. So Maya Angelou, who we saw up here, she's a 3-time Grammy winner, a Pulitzer Prize, and Tony Award nominee, and yet has been recorded during interviews saying, I feel like they're going to find out that I can't write. Imagine, like, if somebody that successful thinks that they're an imposter. It's not so bad when I feel that way. Seth Godin, author of dozens of bestsellers. We have Tom Hanks, 2 Academy Awards, and in over 70 films and TV shows. Michelle Pfeiffer, 30 wins and 66 nominations, but she still thinks she can't act. Jodie Foster, Academy Award and Oscar winner. Don Cheadle, Oscar nominee. Chuck Lorre, the writer of 2.5 Men and Big Bang Theory, both very successful shows. We have Renee Zellweger, who's an Oscar winner. Meryl Streep, the most awarded person in history. Sheryl Sandberg. Does that name ring a bell for anybody? No? She was the former CEO of Facebook. Yes, excellent book. If you have not read Lean In, it's an excellent book to read. We also have Emma Watson, 26 movies, 50 plus articles written about her. She has been on more than 50 magazine covers, and she has had 6 biographies written about her. She barely hit 30. Last but not least, John Steinbeck. Who knows that name? Think back to high school. Okay, why do we know that name? Grapes of Wrath, yes. And that book won a Pulitzer Prize in 1940, and in 1962, he was the Nobel Prize winner for literature. So when you're feeling uncomfortable in a situation, when you're feeling like you don't belong somewhere, you have good company. Okay, more good company. Up to 82% of people experience imposter feelings. Up to 82% of us. I'm in that. 75% of executive women say they've experienced imposter syndrome. 80% of CEOs feel out of depth in their role. So all these people running these amazing companies, they still feel like they don't deserve to be there. 84% of entrepreneurs and small business owners reported experiencing imposter phenomenon. I don't know how many small business owners I know that are like, I'm never gonna be successful with this. Nobody's gonna come buy my product, buy my service. You're not alone. So what are some of the defining characteristics? How do you identify it in yourself? What about the belief that others have overinflated perceptions of your abilities? My track coach had overinflated perceptions of my abilities and thought I could throw the shot put. I can't at all. The fear of being found out. You're sitting there, you're nervous. Every time your boss sends you a message, hey, can I see you for a second? Oh my gosh, they're gonna figure out I can't do my job. I don't know where I screwed up, but I know I screwed up. I don't belong here. Persistent attribution of success to external factors. So factors like, well, it was a team effort, or it was so easy, anybody could do it. Pure luck. It's the only reason I succeeded. Overworking to compensate for perceived inadequacies. Who spends hours redoing something so that the wording is perfect, the graphics are perfect? You know who your audience is, and you keep tweaking it because you think of one member of the audience. And so you write it to fit them. And then you're like, oh, wait, but this person likes it completely different. How do I do it both ways, but still keep it nice and tight and succinct? Anybody feel that way? Okay. There are 5 different types of imposter phenomenon. We'll go through the definitions of each of those, and then we're going to have some time where we get into very small groups, 3 to 4 people. Those of you at home, I strongly encourage you to take this exercise back to work. Those of you in the room, take the exercise back to work. The perfectionist, the superhero, the expert, the rugged individualist, the natural genius. Does this fit with anybody? I'm not allowed to make mistakes. If it isn't perfect, I failed. If things are not perfect, I'm a fake. I can always do better. If I can't do it perfectly, why am I trying? So the perfectionist is very much centered around the execution of whatever the task or project is. Superhero. Back to the cape. We just don't have capes, but we are superheroes. Sometimes we feel if I were truly competent, I wouldn't need any help to get all of this done. I must be good at everything. Anybody, does that resonate with anybody? The expert. I have to know it all. If I don't know it all, then why would I try to do it? I have to know everything. But wait, I can't know everything. I'm not an expert unless I know everything there is to know, whether it's the topic, whether it's the budget, whether it is every single risk that you might run into. Planned, unplanned, those fun ones that come out of left field like COVID. Sweep in and all of a sudden everybody was in the office and then everybody's gone and trying to figure out working remotely. The rugged individualist. I cannot ask for help. If I ask for help, they'll find me out. I'll never get another project, ever. If I were truly competent, I could do this. I shouldn't need help. The natural genius thinks that if it is easy, great. If it is not easy, I'm a fraud. I shouldn't be doing this. I should get it right the first time. Who here, every single time on anything they have tried, has gotten it right the first time? No hands. How many of us have not gotten it right the first time more than once? If help is offered, I've been found out as a fake. Has that ever happened to you? Where your boss or a colleague says, hey, do you want some help with this? I'm really good at it. Sometimes it's just them truly trying to step out and offer help. And it can be perceived as, oh my gosh, they figured out I can't do this by myself, or I'm doing it too slow, or now I'm going to get in trouble. Which of these do we relate to the most? How many perfectionists do we have in the room? 3. 3 1/4. Superhero, and you can be more than one. I'll leave my cape with you at the end. Did we have any superheroes over here? We have any superheroes at home? I didn't hear that last part. Oh, it's mother. What about experts? If I don't know everything, why even try? We have 1 expert, 2 experts in the room, 3 experts in the room. Yeah, people are getting more comfortable, starting to put hands up. Rugged individualist. Okay, that one's more popular. What about natural genius? 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So what are some of the ways we find that our imposter phenomenon is triggered? Does anybody have a situation like I currently do, where I have people on my team that are far more technically savvy than I am? I work in IT project management. I have people that can build networks in their sleep. I have somebody that taught themselves Power BI in 2 weeks and built out a whole structure for us. I feel that one often. Frequent ambiguity. How many of us have gotten a project and you look at the scope, you're like, okay, and then you look at the budget, okay, and then you look at the timeline, and you're thinking, but do I get more resources for this? How am I supposed to accomplish this with these parameters? What about decision-making pressure? Something goes horribly wrong. You're 40% through the project. Your main client leaves the company. New client comes in, wants to rearrange everything. You need to have an answer to them by the end of the day. How you're going to do it, keep it on budget and on time. That's stressful. It's a hard decision to make by yourself. High visibility and leadership demands. I love that at 22 years old, I was sitting in my corporate office, had just gotten my first job, very proud of myself, and the CEO walks in to my presentation, and my laptop died. Just died, would not power back on. It was all visual. So high visibility can make you extremely uncomfortable. What if it's a project that the entire C-suite is looking at, demanding updates all the time? Providing feedback for you, even though it's not their project. How do you deal with that? Competitive environments, fast-paced environments. Anybody work in a slow-paced environment? Okay, I want your job. I do not know what that is like. So you have those fast-paced environments, and oftentimes, the faster the pace, the more competitive. Sometimes it is grabbing at, oh no, I want this project. No, oh no, I don't want that project. It's going to go really bad. You can keep that one. Working remotely in these fast-paced environments, you don't have the ability to just pop into somebody's office and ask a quick question. You don't run into anybody in the hall or grab lunch with them. What about your personal expectations? So this is going to be one where people actually speak, and they're going to tell me how some of their personal expectations could trigger imposter phenomenon. I'll just stand here and wait, it's fine. Yes?
Hey there, my name's Skip.
Skip?
I'm a perfectionist.
Okay. Skip is a perfectionist. Oh, we're getting you a mic, Skip.
Oh, great. Hey there. Wow, okay.
They're very good.
Yeah, personal expectations. So I think when you went through the definitions, perfectionist resonated the most with me. So I think when I'm reflecting a little bit, if it's not perfect, then I really kick myself, maybe too much, or start to also think, oh no, I'm not qualified for what it is I'm doing.
100% feel that. 100%. Anybody else have personal expectations that are completely unreasonable that you put on yourself? Nobody at work put them on you. Nobody on your family put them on you. We have another one over here. Gwen, if I remember correctly? Oh, excellent. I'm really bad with names, and that was from last night, so I'm very impressed.
So I'm Gwen. I'm a natural genius. And if I don't immediately know the answer, then I'm a fraud. I'm the worst. Everything is going wrong. Rocks are falling. We're all going to die.
Anybody? I see a head nod back there. Is that a similar feeling? Yes? Okay. One more person? Can I get one more? Awesome. Thank you.
Hey there.
Hi.
With 20 years of experience in like marketing, I'm supposed to know everything. But in marketing, things change all the time, and the latest disruptor is obviously artificial intelligence. But, you know, with the 20 years of experience, I have direct reports that are half my age. And I feel like I need to know everything, and if I don't know everything, then I can't lead them. And that's completely false, because I'm contributing so much more. Like, I'm the perfectionist, I'm the natural genius, I'm probably a little bit of a lot of those, imposter phenomenon. But I feel like because I'm seasoned, but then sometimes I'm like, well, I'm too old, maybe I don't, you know. So there's all these different expectations of I should be in charge of it all, I should know everything, but it's impossible. I think we all have to kind of lean on each other.
It is impossible, and I feel your pain of 20 years in the business. The first time I got an intern and I was older than his mom, it hurt. It hurt a lot. When my team comes to me with questions, I'm like, I have no idea. On the outside, I'm like, you know what? I just want to confirm that real quick, and then I'm going to get back to you. The longer you spend with your team, or at least the longer I spend with my team, it has turned into, I honestly don't know. The reason I picked you guys is because you have such diverse backgrounds all across the board, and you work together beautifully. So please figure it out and then let me know. Okay, let's go into some of those small breakout discussions where I said it'd be great if three, four of you were next to each other. We're gonna take about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer depending on how well the discussions are going, but probably 5 minutes. And when have you experienced imposter feelings on a project? Did it affect your behavior? Did it impact your productivity? Neither of those are meant as a negative or a positive. You can use them either way. So, oh, my timer disappeared. So it is 11:36 until 11:41. Go. Those of you at home, start this so that you can kick it off when you're back in the office. You ladies good? We've got about 90 seconds left, so if we want to start wrapping up and make sure everybody got a turn.
You want a mic for in the middle? I don't know which one matters.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started back up. Did any of these pieces come into the conversation? Cost of silence, emotional.
No, yes, they did. For this group in the back room, they did.
It did?
Yep.
So stress. Does your stress turn into anxiety? Does that anxiety turn into burnout? Is it worth being quiet for all that? What about behavioral? What about over preparation? Might have been me for today. I've had technology fail so often working in IT that if this laptop couldn't pull up anything, no problem. You guys saw I brought my laptop. I also brought a USB just in case. Oh, none of the AV works at all? It's fine, I've got printouts. We're good. What about micromanagement? Does anybody micromanage projects? Or have somebody that micromanages you in projects? Yeah?
More of the you, right? That's what happened in this group, more of the
Okay.
you.
What about procrastination? I was famous for this in school. All through school, all the way through writing my thesis for my master's. I was like, I got 2 weeks. I got all sorts of time in the world. I have 72 hours. Oh, and now I'm stressed. Now I'm anxious. Now I can't wait to get done. So we heard some of these in the conversations. Okay, how do we deal with those? Why don't we reframe the narrative that we're telling ourselves? So ACT was created by, it's a process created by psychologist Stephen Hayes during the 1980s. It stands for acceptance and commitment therapy. No, this is not sitting on a couch talking to somebody and then giving you all sorts of pills to make you feel better. This is accepting the feeling of that anxiety. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Start to use creative visualization to reframe the outcome, and then take action. So what does that look like? Awareness. So instead of qualified for this, I shouldn't be doing this, try out, I bring unique strengths to the team. Okay? What about some questions to help you with that reality check? Any thoughts in the room on those? What about what evidence supports my ability, not my inability? I got hired, right? I mean, they didn't pluck a name out of a magic hat and all of a sudden I had a job. I have been employed at the same company for 20 years. Obviously doing something right if they haven't figured me out and haven't gotten rid of me yet, right? What about, am I comparing my insides to other people's outsides? That's what I like to call the Instagram filter. So you see all these celebrities on magazines and all these Instagram moms, professionals, athletes, and they're so amazing. And then you see them in person. You're like, oh, you don't actually look like that. You don't have it that together. You're terrified half the time too. Right. What about reframing the thought? Anybody have a feedback file or a win journal? Excellent, there is one. I strongly recommend it. One of the things I do with our interns is I actually get them a little mason jar. I give them some prompts that are already written down, and then each week they need to put a new prompt in. And they're having that day of, I have no wins, I shouldn't be here. They can go back to that jar and pull something out. Oh, I completely forgot I was able to do that. I won. I did something amazing. I contributed to the project in a successful manner. Five core principles on reframing. Embrace self-acceptance. It's very uncomfortable, very worthwhile. Practice self-compassion. We're actually going to do a self-compassion exercise in just a minute. It is very interesting to see our interns go from, okay, you've been here for 5 weeks, we're doing this, to you've now been here for 90 days. What does that look like? And they were able to completely reframe their impact on projects and really internalize that they have self-worth. They're bringing something to the table that is worthwhile. Set and respect healthy boundaries. Who has one phone for work and one phone for personal? I was not expecting that many. That is awesome. My husband does not. He also works for the fire department. So at all hours, his phone goes off. He refuses to set sleep hours or quiet hours. So very unhealthy boundaries on that. On vacation last week, he was in St. Lucia approving people's time swaps from the beach. I was like, thanks for being here. So setting those healthy boundaries, not only with your work life, but your personal life. When you're working at home, tell your family, these are my work hours. If you see me during these hours, keep going unless the house is on fire, somebody has lost a limb, or some other horrific thing. I'm not available. Pretend I am not here. Same goes for, okay, outside of these hours, boss, work, I'm not available unless it's an emergency. How many of you work in a field where an emergency means somebody is going to lose their life because of a project you're working on? One out of all of you. How many of you in the room have a project or work in an industry where a mistake or an emergency could cost somebody's life? I don't. I work in contract food service. Somebody's just going to be mad they couldn't pay for their meal. Let go of comparison. There is no need to keep up with the Joneses. Why are the Joneses so great anyway? I always wondered that as a kid. Never got that. So our self-compassion exercise. We're gonna, oh, one of my timers showed up. We're gonna do a confidence calibration. So I want all of you at home, I want all of you that are here. This is a by myself exercise. Identify a recent project win. List 3 of your skills and or strengths that contributed. Then reflect on, what did I tell myself about that project? What did others say about that project? So I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes to get that done. While you're wrapping up, do me a favor, raise your hand if you did not get a chance to sign in, and that sign-in sheet will get brought over to you. Okay, we've got about 15 seconds left. This is also something you can finish after this session. It does not have to be full. I encourage you to do these often. I encourage you to do them with different groups. Set it up instead of a list 3 skills or strengths that contributed about yourself. Put it out to your project team. Say, what are the unique skill sets combined that allowed us to have this as a win? And I noticed that some of you have been taking photos of the slides. They're all going to be available for you after this. Okay. So we're just going to review this real quick. We've got our feedback file in a win journal, practicing visibility, competence mapping, and seeking support. How many of you have a mentor? Oh, that is sad. We need, go get a mentor. If you're not ready for a mentor, go find peer support. If you're not quite ready for that, offer to be somebody's peer support to get comfortable with that situation. Okay? What is one thing you will try the next time imposter thoughts start creeping in? This is an actual answer scenario, so feel free to raise your hands. Reframing? Excellent. So looking at the situation and going, okay, well, this is what I'm telling myself, but what does it look like from the outside? Yes? Okay. I have a lot of crickets in here.
Hey, Skip again. I think I'll actually do the confidence calibration activity, because I think that kind of goes into like the win journal, I think it's called, but like the idea of just a lot of the projects, there's similarities to like an old project to a new project, and so being able to recognize like, well, you did it here, you can do it again.
You've already done it.
You've
You've already
yeah.
succeeded. Can I get one more person that hasn't gone yet? I'm also the type of presenter, I'm completely comfortable standing here in silence. So the faster somebody raises their hand. Thank you.
I would say the win journal, because in IT things happen so quickly that you finish something and you're on to the next. So it's very easy to forget the accomplishments that you've had prior to.
Absolutely. One of the things I have my team do when we meet every single month is the first question is, what did you accomplish since we last talked? Then when review time comes around, which they just all wrote their self-reviews, now I'm writing all their reviews, is look at how much you got done in 12 months. Look at everything that you accomplished. You are meant to be here. Okay, so we learned that imposter phenomenon is common. You're not alone. There are plenty of us in the room, plenty of us at home, plenty of celebrities. Imposter phenomenon is not a flaw. It's a signal for growth. It's about learning to reframe. It's about counting our wins. It's about going back and looking at, okay, well, these are the specific skills that I brought to this project, to this program. Building practice is a journey. It's not a destination. You will never be done. Don't think that there's like a finish line and you'll finally get there. We're not set up that way. I have a whole bunch of resources in here for you all, some great light reading. I did not put everything in. You should see the stacks of books I have at home on imposter phenomenon and workbooks and workshops. It's amazing. So thank you all for choosing imposter phenomenon and learning how to build confidence in your leadership. Have my LinkedIn information up there. Feel free to scan that QR code. You've also got my email address. If you have questions afterwards, ask me. That's what I'm here for. Any final questions? And I gave you 4 minutes. Thanks, everyone.
Let's hear it from Ms. Stephanie Luck. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Good presentation on imposter syndrome. My takeaway is what you talked about was the win journal, right? So for me, as a practicing PM for over 30 years, my win journal was always up here. I never wrote anything down. Now, that was at the beginning of my career because I thought I was a superhero. But now that I'm more mature, grown, established, I make it a point to write stuff down. So that's a great technique.
Well, and our memory is not perfect. So we'll remember something down the road completely differently than how it actually happened. So write it down right after it happens.
All right. Anybody else have a comment?
Hey, thank you. So I'm Todd. So I have some more senior individuals that are generally in my group. And have you ever seen a case, like how do you differentiate between the imposter syndrome is somewhat new to me, and I appreciate your presentation. I'm glad it's going to be available. But how do you differentiate between imposter syndrome and the Peter principle? Like, do you find people who have truly gotten to a place they shouldn't be? You know what I mean? There's a reality that happens, right? So how do you differentiate between the two? You can't always just make them feel better about things. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And it is truly, it's obviously situational for each individual. I have had folks that they're like, I am killing it this year. I'm amazing. I am doing everything perfectly. I am the expert in this area. And then I go in with questions afterwards. Okay, what makes you an expert in this area? Okay, well, so-and-so has that same information. I have that same knowledge. So do 75 other people in this office. Doesn't necessarily make you an expert. Why don't we refocus? So sort of reimagining the scenario as you still have room to grow. Are you willing to grow? I'm willing to help you. Absolutely.
Any other comments? Oh, Shaq, sure.
Thank you. I wanted to know, do you have, like, how do you get your prompts for your win journal? For your team, you said that you had like about 10 prompts that you give them, right? Like, where does that come from?
Sometimes it comes from ChatGPT, and I modify it to be very specific to my team. Sometimes it comes from questions that other people have asked me in the past. Sometimes it's sitting in meetings and hearing other people talk about their wins, backing into how they got there, and creating that as a question. So it's not I had them all in my head. I know it all, I'm an expert. It's very much piecing it together.